Hey guys, this is Mrs. Castett, and I am going to do some vocabulary practice with you today. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been wearing these gray glasses a lot lately, and that is because I'm spending a lot more time on the computer than I usually do. And these help protect my eyes a little bit. So anyway, just like we do in class where we look at our vocab picture cards, I am going to do that with you today so that we can better understand what these vocabulary words mean when we do our assignment for this on Friday. So just give me 1 second here and I will have the cards up here for you. All right, I'm going to share my screen here with you. Here we go. So on your screen right now, you see a picture, and this is a boarding school. I want you to say boarding school. Say boarding school. Okay, and a boarding school, I want you to think about what a boarding school means to you. So in the past, you may have some thoughts on this. So I want you to think about this as a building. Obviously, it has something to do with a school. So I'm gonna have you guys pause me now if you haven't already, and I want you to think of what a boarding school is. So boarding school here, it talks about is a school with buildings where the pupils live during the school term. So a boarding school is kind of like, I always compare this to a college. When you go to college, you live in a dorm room or in a dormitory. And a dormitory is the place where you sleep when you go to college. Well, boarding school is more so for kids who are actually in like elementary, middle, or high school. And it's a place where kids go to school, but they live there. So they come home on breaks and stuff, much like Harry Potter and Hogwarts. That's like a boarding school, okay? So that is boarding school. Your second word this week is dormitory. Say dormitory. Dormitory. All right, so dormitory. Go ahead and think about what that, I kind of gave you a hint in my last explanation. Think about what a dormitory is. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, a dormitory, you can see these girls are all sitting in a room together, chatting. They're kind of on the couch or on the floor. They look comfortable. Maybe it's the place that they live. So a dormitory is a building with many rooms in which people sleep. So it's a lot like an apartment building. There is a big building that's full of rooms. Sometimes they have bathrooms in them. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just a room that is shared where these girls all live together in this dorm building, and they share this space, kind of like an apartment, but you live with friends and people you meet at boarding school or in college. So it's not like an apartment where you live with your family. You live with people who are going to school with you. Your next word is endurance. Say endurance. Okay, I want you to look at this picture and I want you to think about what endurance means. And you can go ahead and pause the video here. Endurance, okay, endurance. So you can see that this person is working very hard. They are running through the water. They look like they're in good shape, that they're willing to persevere. So endurance is the power to last and withstand hard wear. So if you have endurance, you are going to work hard no matter what. You're going to push through it. When you start getting tired, when you start feeling frustrated, you're going to push through and do your best no matter what. It talks about by running a little farther each day, you build up your endurance for a long race. So if you want to run a mile and you can't do that yet, maybe the first day you run a fourth of a mile, and then the next day you can run half of a mile, and gradually over time you get better because you build that endurance, which is the power to last longer. Okay, your next word is manual. Say manual. Go ahead and look at this picture and think about what manual might mean. Go ahead and pause the video here. Manual, you can see that these people are all on top. They're doing construction work, it looks like. They're up on a tall building. using hammers and tools. They have hard hats on. They're definitely working with their hands, and that is what manual means. It means work done with the hands. So people, they say, do manual labor when they are construction builders, or if they're farmers or things like that, where they work a lot with their hands. That is a skill that you do with your hands, okay? Picking crops is manual labor, when they used to do more picking instead of using the heavy machinery. Digging ditches is manual labor, all right? Your next word, you have 2 words left. Your next word is reservation. Say it. All right, go ahead and look at this picture. This picture is a little tricky for reservation, especially around this part of the country, because this isn't what our homes look like in general, let alone on our reservations. But you might see this word and think, well, we've learned about this in North Dakota studies, or I've heard of this before, but I don't really know what the explanation is. Well, a reservation is land that is set aside by the government for a special purpose. So we have many reservations in North Dakota that that has been set aside by the government for people to live on. It's land that is protected from being used for things outside of the purposes that they were intended for Native Americans. Okay, so reservation is for Native Americans. This one is specifically. Sometimes there are land reservations that are just land set aside for animals and stuff too, but it's land set aside for a specific purpose. And your last word is society. Say society. Society. So you look at this picture and you say, well, they must be on the busy streets of New York City. So I want you to think about what society might mean when you see all of these people. Go ahead and pause the video here. Think about what society means. All right, society does have to do with people. It does have to do with all of us. And society is the people of any particular time or place. So we live in a society right now. Society has changed over time. If you talk to your grandparents, they'll say that society is very different now than it was when they were kids. They'll say that times have changed, society has changed, and that is the people of today. And the people of today, you could say, are these people are very crowded and rushed and live in a busy world. So that is society. So those are our words for the week. I hope that this is a better way for you to get an understanding of these words, and I hope that it brings you back to a little bit what we usually do in class with our silly voices and stuff, and practicing what the words are. But yeah, these are the words. You can look at these anytime during the week. We want you for sure to look at them on Monday, but ready for your assignment on Friday. I miss you guys lots, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.